Hi there, this video is to assist new hiring leaders as they start to interview and hire. So I'm going to give you my top tips for those leaders today. Sit in on interviews before you start interviewing yourself. So that gives you an opportunity to either sit in physically or remotely and listen to how an interview happens, a series of interviews, and get an understanding of what you can do in your interviews when you start to interview candidates. Ask your peers to sit in on your interviews and then post the interview. Get them to give feedback on your performance during the interview and how you can improve. Get some interview training. Ask recruitment agencies for some tips on how to conduct interviews. I'm certainly happy to sit in on interviews with clients on our retained and exclusive roles and to give feedback on how the candidate performed, but also on how the interview went and the general structure of the interview and how the client performed. We can give you some insight into that, and I think using agencies who do lots of interviews to assist you to get better at conducting interviews yourself makes a lot of sense. Before you start interviews, make sure that you're very clear on your employee value proposition, company culture, on why candidates should join your company and your team. This is really key to success. Ensure that you've prepared your interview questions and tested them with your colleagues to ensure that you're asking relevant questions which enable you to unlock whether these candidates are the right candidates for your team and organisation. Be quick in responding with regards to candidates to get them into your interview pipeline. Also, be quick with regards to giving feedback, otherwise you will lose candidates. Use evidence whilst making decisions rather than gut feel. Now, this comes from the key of having really good questions from the start and a really robust interview process with different ways of testing people, but also keeping that process as quick as possible. Ensure that you're focusing on cultural add rather than cultural fit throughout your recruitment process. Research this. Ensure that you're set up for success with regards to how you run this in your interview process. Be prepared to answer questions about yourself and the organisation too. Bring the best version of yourself during every single interview. You really need to sell your team, your organisation to the candidates who are interviewing with you, and they're interviewing you too. Be prepared for challenges during the recruitment process. It's not always plain sailing and it's not always easy. Ensure that candidates understand the different stages of your recruitment process and timelines of your recruitment process so you can manage expectations. Do this with the agencies that you're working with too. Last point, always provide detailed feedback and prompt feedback. Put yourself in the position of the candidates that you're interviewing and how you'd like to be treated as well. So they're my tips. There's quite a lot to digest here and lots of other things that we can talk through as well. So please feel free to provide other tips and comments with our video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for your time.